Scratched Ed is a resource for teachers who are using Scratch themselves or using Scratch with their students. Scratch Ed is a free resource, and you can join by clicking on the Join link in the upper right corner. When you click on this link, you have a few fields that you need to fill in, and it explains that this registration form is only for the Scratched Ed online community. For those looking to use Scratch to create and share projects, please visit the Scratch website at scratch.mit.edu. Once you are done and click to create a new account, you will get a confirmation in your email. I'm going to go ahead and sign into Scratch and show you some of the resources available. You have a profile in Scratch, and it shows information about your usage of Scratched Ed, and I'll explain a little bit more about this as we go along. Let's look at Stories, the first tab. You'll always see some of the recent stories showing, and you can browse by most commented on, most bookmarked, and previously featured stories. If you have a story about using Scratch, you can click to share it. As you can see, there are several stories here. You could also search and change the all to stories to find a story about a topic that you are interested in. Resources is the next tab, and it always shows a featured resource. It has a place to go if you're new to Scratch for looking for resources, if you're familiar with Scratch, or if you have experience with Scratch. You can also scroll down and search by resources by the education level, the content type, such as lesson plan, handout, assessment, curriculum area, and language. Up at the top is a button if you want to explore resources. And this lets you page through the different resources. And again, you have your delimiters on the side if you want to look for a particular content area. And there's also a link to share a resource. If you have a lesson plan that you want to share, you would put in your title, author. You could put in images, upload files, put in lots of information, and tags to go along with your project. You can also search for projects up in the main search boxes. Discussions is a place where you could see what people are talking about. You can start a new discussion, or you can look under the discussion forums to see what information is already listed here. If there's a forum that you're really interested in, such as teaching with Scratch, and come across a topic that I'm interested in, I can click on subscribe to follow this post in case other people answer this and put information in, because I'm kind of interested in this too. So I'm going to click subscribe, and I can decide what the send interval would be. Immediately, daily, weekly. Weekly is fine, and then HTML is fine. And again, if nobody posts, I won't get any information, but let's say 5 people posted in 1 week, I would just get one email then that had all 5. And I'm going to click on subscribe. And then back to my profile. and subscriptions. You can see this is the subscription manager information overview, and then to see all the subscriptions that I have, I click and scroll down, and it shows all of the topics that I am subscribed to at this point in time, or all the resources that I have subscribed to, and I can edit or drop any of these subscriptions at any time. When you go to the Member tab, you can find other educators. You can search Scratch educators around the world by exploring the map or by browsing and filtering by interest level. And you can also see who has been most recently online, and I'm listed here, obviously. And then you can scroll down and see other people who are listed. You can also go to the map, move the map around. If you're looking for people in your area, although you might be interested in connecting with a class in another country, kind of like Pen Pals, but Scratch Pals. And as you zoom in, you can see how the map changes. And you can click on a particular pin to see who that Scratch member is. And then if you're interested, you could click on their name, find out a little bit about them, and decide if you wanted to subscribe, which means you would follow things that they do, or not. The last tab here is Events. And this is where information on Scratch Educator meetups are. There's also a Creative Computing online workshop that's free, and you can take it at any time. And it's another good way to learn about Scratch in the classroom. And then Scratch Day. In May each year, there's an International Scratch Day, and you can find out more about that by clicking this link here. This is a quick overview of Scratch Ed. I'm just going to go back to resources. And I'm going to look for a resource. I'm going to just search for addition. I can leave it on all, and I'll do that for this one because although I'm interested in resources, there might be a discussion that I might want to follow on this. I'll click on Go, and as I'm in my discussion, it shows me different colors based on the tab that it corresponds to. So here's a discussion on Hour of Code. Here's a resource called the Addition Game. So I'm going to click on the Addition Game. Notice a little typo there. And you can go down and read the information in here. And you could also post comments on this. And I have posted comments before on resources where there's been a spelling error like this one. It's so easy to miss your own spelling errors. And then also some of the people who are posting here, English is not their native language. And that was the case when I posted a comment about a spelling error. But anyhow, this shows you all of the information that's available in here, if there are any resource files, so I could go look at this game. If I like it, I can put a bookmark on it, and if I want to subscribe, I can click here too, and this will alert me if there are any changes to this. So I'm going to go ahead and bookmark it. And then I just want to show you where your bookmarks will be if you want to go look for them once you've got several of them. So I'm going to go up to my profile, and I have a tab called Bookmarks. And this is where all my bookmarks are. It tells you what type, if it's a resource or a story, and it gives you a description of it and tells you the date. And if I decide at some point that this really isn't one that I want to use, then I can remove it. And I can sort it by when it was posted, or I can change the order. So now I've got the oldest first, little toggle here. And then it's real easy for me to get to my resources that I've bookmarked by just clicking on them. If you are interested in more help on Scratch Ed, you can click the Help link in the upper right corner. And this will show you categories such as General, Stories, Resources, Discussion, and Members.